Today we're taking a look at the fan favorite, the Titan defense ship, the Reaper. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fractured Space with Down to Earth Astronomy. I was actually pretty surprised when I realized that I have never done a review of the Reaper. It's a pretty popular ship, and it's been played quite a bit. So today we're taking a look at the ship. First we're going to go over the whole setup, the loadout, the different modules you get on the ship. We're going to have a look at the crew, what kind of crew members you should try and focus on, or at least that I like to focus on. And then at the end we're going to have a quick battle so we can see how the ship actually performs in some real combat. But let's go ahead and let's have a look at the loadout first. Now, the Reaper is a forward-firing ship only. That means that, it can fire to the sides, but as you can see here with the Reaper cannon, it has a cone in front of it, and in that cone it does 100% of its damage when hitting. But as you move outside that cone, it drops down to 50%, and then once you're out at the side or to the rear or above the ship or below the ship, you're all the way down to 25% of your total firepower, simply because your cannons cannot turn that far. So you really need to keep your enemies in front of you, because if they get around you to the side, you're not going to do a lot of damage. But if you can keep them in front of you, this ship is absolutely devastating. You can rip even the largest ships apart in a very short amount of time. So ideally what you want to do is you want to try and keep people at a medium range, so they're having a harder time getting around you. And the main weapon is actually support that playstyle pretty well, because you'd have a decent range, 15 kilometers. That's pretty good. And a decent shot speed as well, 10,000 meters per second. It can be difficult to hit out at that long range, but it's definitely doable. The main weapon comes in 3 variants. The first one here, they all have the same range, same optimal range of 12 kilometers, but the base damage changes. First main weapon here fires a round with a base cooldown of quarter of a second. It's very similar to the last one here, but this is more of a continuous fire, so you're getting more feedback. So if you're going for those long range shots, it's going to be easier for you to keep your gun on the target, because you're getting a better continuous fire. And then of course we have the Reaper Flamer. It's a kind of a burst weapon, so it fires in small bursts with a 1 second cooldown. So it's not really enough that you can go down behind cover. But if you want to try to get those opportune shots just when people are poking around the corner, this would probably be a better choice for you. I personally prefer the last one, but again, all the weapons are viable options. One of the main features that I think most people will have seen on the battlefield is this beam weapon. Again, it's a forward-firing weapon, and it fires a series of beam in an arc, not a cone, an arc around in front of the ship. And once it hits the enemy ships, you can see it does 1,000 hit points of damage, and it strips the enemy armor. So it is very effective to get rid of enemy armor. It comes in 2 variants, both with a range of 20 kilometers. The second one does only half the damage, but it fires twice. So it goes from left to right, and then it comes back from right to left. So again, this is a matter of personal preference. Then to try and protect yourself in case people actually get around your side, we have these shields, or shrouds as they call them. The base one here will only protect you from the sides, so only from left or right. The second one here, same thing from the top and the bottom. Both of these have a 10-second duration with a 45-second cooldown. The last one, the Omni Shroud, which I kind of like, only have half the duration, but it's all the way around the ship. I don't think this actually protects you from the front or the back. The only thing is protects you from the top and the bottom, and the left and the right. But this can be very useful to take down or to prevent incoming damage from ships either above you or the sides of you. Again, you can go with whichever you feel like is the most useful to you. Then we have the Reaper missiles. It's just a pretty standard missile solution. They do a decent amount of damage, 150 points of damage and 8 missiles per volley with only a 20-second cooldown. which adds up to 1200 damage for a quick attack, a cooldown missile solution, which is pretty good. And then we have some Reaper fighters, pretty standard, small fighters, can attack other ships, but they're really meant to take down enemy drones if they come too close. You can also set them to guard other ships, so they can take down drones around them as well. So just some anti-drone support here. So that's pretty much the loadout. So as we talked about in the beginning, because the ship is very focused on keeping your enemy in front of you, so you can fire at them from the front of your ship. I think it's very important that you have good maneuverability, not the necessary turn rate. So that leaves us on to the crew. So the crew I've chosen to go with here is very focused around damage, and I've also been focusing on the maneuverability. Now the difference between maneuverability and turn rate is, the turn rate is of course how quickly the ship turns, whereas maneuverability is how quickly the ship strafes from left to right or moves up and down. So having that maneuverability means that you can easily just maneuver from side to side while keeping your front towards your enemy. That's why I've gone for a high maneuverability setup. You can see here that I've also gone with some maneuverability implants. I only have one at the moment, unfortunately. I would love to get more of those to get even more maneuverability of the ship. And then I've tried to focus on armor strength and damage. Those are the three main effects that I've been going for here. But I think that's enough from the hangar. Let's go ahead and let's take the ship out for a spin and see how it performs. And we're off. So right here from the start, I jumped to Alpha, and I was playing this game together with Cactus Juggler here in the Gladiator. So you will see me play closely together with him quite often doing this match. But right away, pretty standard. I try to move forward because again, this ship can handle itself and can do some decent amount of damage. And I have plenty of other ships with me here in the sector. So right now, I'm feeling pretty confident, and I move forward. Though you can see here the turret coverage indicator just above the ship, currently at 50%. And as I move further and further forward, and I go down and point at the station actually gets it within my 100% coverage, so you can see it jumping back and forward here. So again, so far we haven't met any resistance. We have an enemy ship at Beater beginning to pressure our forward station there. Looks like we have a ship in Gamma heading over there. Now we have two ships around Beater. And now we get our first encounter in this system here. And it's a Leviathan. He fires his beam at me. I desperately tried to get into cover. Didn't really manage it, but it's okay. I can get a cover from his missile there without any kind of problem. Here comes Cactus in his Gladiator. So we're getting ready to attack this guy. He's still covering behind the shield, the forward station. So I decide that I have to move forward if I want to get some shots in. A few missiles coming in, but they should all hit the shield. We have an Aegis coming in as well. Having a look how far forward Cactus is. Notice I strafe a little bit around the corner, so I'm facing him a little bit better than I would if I was coming and turning. I make a bit of a misplay here, getting too close. This is what happens right now. I'm only covering at 25% coverage there, 50% coverage. And only there I get up to 100% coverage. I begin to take some damage, so I open up my my shield here to try and prevent some of that incoming damage here. Again, you see down to 25% because he's moving around me, trying to prevent staying in front of me. But luckily I have Cactus with me here doing a decent amount of damage to him. And between the two of us, we do get him down. There's the Aegis. Fire some missiles at him. There we go. And there goes the beam, taking off his armor. He decides to jump while sitting right in front of a Reaper. You're not gonna survive that. I'm on low health, so I really want to get out of here right now, get back and get some repairs. We have a Venture here, but I'll take him out before we leave. He is hiding as well. I thought he was going to jump. But it looked like he wanted to come out for a fight. But then for some reason he changes his mind, decides to jump once again while he was sitting right in front of an enemy Reaper. And you're not gonna survive doing that. So we're gonna get this station here. I'm on very low health. So as you can see, I'm trying to get around the shield, and now Leviathan is back, getting some shots in him. Very low health. 68 hit points right now, so I really want to get the hell out of here. There we go, got some repairs from the Venture, so I get up to just over 2,000 hit points, but I'm still very low on health, so I want to go back, get those upgrades, and get repaired. Now we only have 20 odd seconds until Gamma unlocks, so instead of getting a full repair, which I ideally should get, I decide to move out and close jump access, because the enemy actually do have jump access to our base right now. So I move out, want to close that jump access and get into Beta, so I can try and help out in there. We have a single ship in Gamma. Help out in Gamma. We have a single ship in Gamma right now. Now we have 2 ships. No enemy ships have arrived in Gamma yet. Looks like they are all trying to prevent us from getting into the base in Alpha. So right now we're actually capping Gamma pretty fast, and I just managed to close jump access there. So right now it looks like we're gonna get Gamma completely uncontested. So I decided just to stay in this sector and begin to cap some mining stations, so we can begin to get some points. We are pretty even on points, so begin to kill some mining ships here to get some points for my team, so we can begin to level up and hopefully get a little bit of a point difference to the enemy team. And here you can really see the reduced amount of firepower that you get when you go out to the side of the ship compared to when you are in front of the ship. It really shows the importance of keeping your enemies in front of you when you play this ship. So far, I've been allowed to just run through the sector without any kind of resistance. It looks like after they closed jump access from Alpha, that they all moved into Gamma to try and get as many of the friendly ships killed before they managed to get out of Gamma. So right now I'm looking to see what kind of ships I'm getting with me here. They're still pretty far behind, so I don't want to overcommit, but they are catching up to me pretty fast. So I think I decide that it's okay to move forward. I don't want to alert them right now by moving into the forward station. This is why you see me roaming around here on the outside of the shield, waiting for ships, and it was good that I didn't do that, because here comes the Leviathan, and I managed to use the shield a little bit to my advantage, try to slip back in, allow me to turn the ship around. I am on low health already, took a huge amount of damage from that Leviathan. This is where I would really have loved to have that extra hit points if I've stayed and got the repairs at the beginning. So I decided to try and jump out, get back, get repaired, because I was getting so low on health there that if I decided to engage any of these guys, I would have been killed very quickly. So we have a little bit of a breathing room here, getting our armor back up, getting repaired, and we can see now all of the enemy teams are scrambling towards Beta to try and prevent us from getting jump access from there. I'm not going to be able to make it to the end of that sector in time, so I decide just to go to Alpha instead and try and help out Cactus, who's alone over here. So again, trying to catch up to him. The forward thrust of the ship is actually not that bad. It's not the fastest ship in the game, but it can definitely handle its own when it comes to speed, at least, and damage for that matter. So as predicted, you can see the fight in Beta is pretty much over. They managed to clear the ships we had at the end, and in this sector only managed to get to the halfway point, so I would have not have been able to do any kind of difference in that sector anyway. So it was completely the right choice to go over here. We can see Gladiator here up ahead, now moving into to the enemy forward station. So I begin to move up as well, get ready to give it to come. And look at this, full health Leviathan. Here comes the missiles, here comes the beam, strip his armor, missiles in, he's at half health. He's taking over 8,000 damage now. He's at a third health. 1/4 health, and gone. There you go. That's how quickly you kill a Leviathan. And while we did that, Cactus actually managed to get jump access to the enemy base. So now it's time to make our first attack on the base. We have a Protector here, fire some missiles at him, just to try and give him a little bit of damage. Very lightly armored ship. I tried to focus on these generators to try and get some of the damage from the station down. And now I can begin to focus on the Protector as well. We'll see a little bit of damage from the missiles. Fire a second salvo here. Don't get full potential out of those. I move up a little bit, which puts me in a bit of a dangerous situation because I exposed myself to a lot of incoming damage. So I open up my shield to try and mitigate some of the damage, hoping that I can get this protector down before my shield goes down. But again, remember, I'm using the Omni Shroud. So this is a situation where the stock one would have helped me a lot more because the shield would have been up for longer. So because the reduced duration of the shield, that actually meant that it do manage to get me down before I can get down in cover of the station. So that's a good example of a situation where the other version of the shield would have been better than having the Omni version. Venture here decides to jump while he's in front of an Aegis and the Leviathan. We managed to cap 35% of the station in that attack, which is actually pretty good. Looks like Cactus is not going to survive for long. No, there we go, he's down. And now we have almost the whole team down, apart from a Watchman and a Pioneer. Watchman here running through the beta sector, together with the Pioneer, and trying to get jump access from this sector to put additional pressure on the enemy team. Expecting the enemy team to be jumping out to Alpha, there we go, in order to try and close jump access to their station. And actually, there was one ship jumping to beta, predicting that we would be attacking in this sector as well, to try and prevent us from just opening up jump access from that sector instead. So I go to Alpha and know there's at least one enemy ship here. We have just under a minute until Gamma unlocks. Then we can see the Leviathan up ahead. And there we go. That looks like the beam from the Venture. So now I know there's at least two ships here. And with only 30 seconds till Gamma, I really want to preserve my health and not really want to get into a fight with these guys right now. I have no idea why I decided to shoot on my own binding ship here. There we go. Leviathan opens up with his beam, getting down into cover. 20 seconds to Gamma unlocks. Leviathan is moving in. I decide now it's time to get the hell out of here. We see our Venture is now also in the zone. We can see his weapon fire coming in here. And there we go, jumping back to get a little bit of repairs, get some upgrades, and then Gamma unlocks now, and we are now ready to jump in. Looks like there's no ship in there, no one is capping the sector right now. And apparently that was because only the enemy Aegis was in here, and he was still making his way in. He's opened up his shield, so I just feed him a lot of energy. I'm not shooting at him, I don't want to feed him any more energy, but I did manage to give him enough to get off his particle accelerator with that missile salvo. Now that his shields are down, we can open up. We can begin to do some damage. Here we go. 4,000 damage done. Now we can see the beam from the Protector. So I decide there's no reason to keep shooting at this guy. I'm not going to get him down anyway with the heal from the Protector. So I move up and begin to focus on this guy instead. He's taking some damage as well from the Venture. Again, bit of a misplay here. I move in way too close. I should have stayed a little bit further back here. You can see the jump from the Aegis. That really should warn me, because an Aegis jumping at the Gamma sector, that can only mean one thing. When I see him turn up there, and I decide to jump. When I played it, I didn't notice the beam from the Aegis before it actually hit me. But watching it back now, I of course can see that we could actually see that he was about to fire his particle accelerator. And if I've known that, I probably wouldn't have survived anyway, because I don't think the Omni Shroud shield can protect you from that, because it's an AoE attack. It's an area, it's a complete area you're engulfed in, so I don't think the Omni Shroud will help you anything there. But regardless, we do get killed. But we do manage to cap the Gamma sector, which is absolutely beautiful, because that means that we're not going to have that bonus, even though only 2 of our ship actually got the bonus. You can see here, Cactus struggling to get his Gladiator up so he can get the full effect of his broadside on that Leviathan. We have 3 enemy ships in the Gamma sector right now. And with the amount of ships that was in here at this point, I thought, well, there's not going to be a lot that I could do. I'm a bit in doubt here what I should do. Which sector should I move to? Should I go to Gamma? Should I go to one of the sectors? So I decided just to make a quick decision, because I couldn't make up my mind. And I moved to Alpha. We can see there for a second there was actually 4 against 2 in Gamma. But now they're 2 on 2, so I decide, okay, wow, I can actually do some difference in here. I should have gone straight to Gamma. Now they're 3 on 2. So I decided to go in there and try and help out. See if I can make the 2 ships that still have the bonus from the Gamma sector escape the sector with their bonus intact. First target right behind us here. We have the Aegis. Fires a missile salvo at him. I have no idea what the guy is shooting at right now. Again, trying to keep my front towards him. And there we go. We get the Aegis down. Next ship's gonna be this Protector. We really want to get this guy down. We have Cactus here. He's on very low health. We don't want this this Protector to get any shots in on him, because we really need Cactus alive. He does still have the Gamma buff. There we can see him jump out. A bit risky with the Protector so close. A single salvo from the Protector, or maybe 2 salvos, could take him down. But I guess the Protector was more concerned with his own ship. But while all this has been going on, I think it's the Pioneer in the Alpha sector managed to get jump access to the enemy base. So we move in again. And here we have the Leviathan, and we have a Venture. I decided to go for the Leviathan, but notice this time when the missile salvo hit. Remember last time? We did a ton of damage to him. This time we did not strip his armor, so he does not take as much damage as he did last time. And here we go. We strip his armor, and we begin to do some damage. I take some damage in from the side from the Venture, so I begin to move down. Want to get into cover, and here comes the Aegis as well. So I open up my Omnis route here. Now this is a good situation. You see, I'm both taking damage from the side and from the top. But I really want to focus on this Leviathan. Want to get this guy down, get him out of the game, so we can actually begin to cap again. Unfortunately, I do not get him down. We have managed to get a little bit extra cap. But I was saying to Cactus here, get the Leviathan. He's on very low health. Here we see eventually he's apparently jumped out. So go back. We can now see the Leviathan managed to be repaired by the station, unfortunately. So we didn't manage to get this guy down. Which was really a bummer, to be honest. And right now the enemy team are here in force. I think every single ship from the enemy team is currently at the base trying to protect it. So we're not really getting any capture point at this moment. Still 24 seconds until we respawn. We have a Pioneer respawning in 2 seconds. We look at the damage on the left hand side there. The Cactus is taking 9%, 8%, 4%, and he's pretty much just gone. And there goes the Watchman as well, which was the last 2 ships we had at the enemy base. So we can expect them to be showing up in Alpha any minute now to try and close the jump access to their base. And here we go. Now we respawn. We still have jump access from Alpha, so I decided to jump to Gamma, because even though you can jump to the enemy base from Gamma if you have jump access from either Alpha or Beta. And I was hoping you could see here we still have jump access. I have 6 seconds until my jump console cooldown. I'm just desperately trying to get into the enemy base. I was hoping I could manage to get in before they closed jump access. Unfortunately, I could not. So we have 1 minute until Gamma unlocks. I decided just to take a quick patrol in the Beta sector, just to see if there's anyone out here that I might be able to engage. Maybe I was lucky to get one of the low health ships, so I can get him out before Gamma unlocks. But it looks like I'm alone out here. There's no one here, so I decided to move back to the Gamma sector to get ready and try to get into a good position to attack the enemies when they do arrive. Cactus is here as well in his Gladiator, so we're both moving into towards the main station here at the Gamma sector. Try to stay in cover for now until we know what kind of ships we're going to be facing. Here we go. Friendly Venture is now here as well. So we're now 3 ships, and here we go. First ship just arrived, and it's the Aegis. Missile salvo away. And there we go. He opens up the shield, so I decide to move over. We see the Protectors down here. I'm going to take some damage in from the sides. That's the Leviathan, so open up my Omnis route, reducing his damage to, well, almost nothing. Now the Aegis, looks like the Protector is focused somewhere else, and the Aegis is taking a lot of damage, so I decided to help out my team. Try to get some focus fire. This is really something you should try and do when you play. Try to focus fire. Help your teammates take down the enemies. Look at the amount of damage that Venture took from that. He's being repaired by the Protector, so I decided to switch over to the Pioneer instead. I probably should turn around to try and get the Protector down, but I decided to take the Pioneer instead. We managed to cap the sector here, so now we just need to kill these enemy ships as quickly as we can, get as many of them out of the game as possible, making our attack on the enemy base a lot easier. There we go. Last ship is down, and I think actually all of the enemy ships are dead. No, there's one at their base right now. But we had 2 ships, we are capping fast, we had 70%. It's the Protector that managed to get out. Missile salvo out, and he is dead. All enemy ships are now dead, which of course means this is going to be a very easy win, and there we go, game is over. So I hope this game showcased the ability that this ship has. I did make a few misplays, and I think this ship is actually a little difficult to play at times. But I hope that you still got some useful tips and tricks if you want to play this ship, or if you want to pick it up for yourself. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want more Fractured Space content, remember to subscribe. And there's going to be a giveaway during my next couple of live streams. I managed to get my hands on a few Captain Pack keys, so subscribe and stay tuned, so you know when my next live streams with Fractured Space is going to come up, so you can get your hands on a Captain Pack key. That's it. So until next time, I'll see you guys in space.